je pourrais peut-être soigner ça.
A strange man was at the door with a pass for our medical facility. I refused him entry.
Darius, how could you know he didn't need our help?
His clothes were too finely tailored to be from Whitechapel.
Perhaps just a friend of that stray poet who is always about.
Richard Nithercott? No, not of the same cloth, this man. I suspect some machination from that journalist.
Clayton Darby. Is he still asking questions?
Yes. I saw him drifting around St. Mary's Church. I swear he is tracking me, just downwind.
I must talk to that journalist or the poet. They must know about Darius. Nearby the church they just mentioned.
Alors, on a des copains à se faire. Alors, Clayton et Richard.
Welcome, sir.
I am Dr. Reed.
Doctor? Interesting.
How is
Business? I have no...
I see.
It's no secret, Joe Peter...
As a merchant,
What you mean besides the epidemic, the war?
violence is in...
Yeah. A few nights ago,
Where did this happen?
in the closed workshops nearby.
Have you been hurt?
No.
Have you had...
Nurse
Yeah,
Dorothy Crane... and
that doesn't exist.
Your precious Nurse Crane gives a...
Right then. Show me what...
Alors, qu'est-ce que ça qui pourrait m'intéresser? Alors, si je me trompe pas, je crois que c'était ça dont j'avais besoin. Merde! Ah!
Fancy bar.
You never... Right then. Excuse me, sir.
Another journalist?
I'm not a journalist.
A doctor, you say? It's quite a rare...
Really? But still, here I am. Dr. Jonathan Reed.
I'm Joe Peterson to some, but Colossus Joe to most. And I don't remember asking for your service, sir.
May I ask what you do?
I do whatever I want, and so...
According to you,
Not familiar with this, neighbour.
this part of town does have quite a...
Totally. Look at me for it.
How did you become the local bully ever?
There's no pride in roughing up poor bastards.
A job?
I got enlisted by the Wet Boot Boys, a gang.
Most people don't become thugs.
I don't care what you think, sir.
I'm not sure Mr. Lewis would agree with your...
Oh, do you really think he's the poor...
Have you heard of...
Dorothy Crane?
Could you please tell me...
She's a nice girl. Tries...
Goodbye, Mr. Peter.
Fancy...
You never... Joe Pe...
I've known Joe for years. I saw him box...
What can...
Colossus Joe was...
It's never...
We've all had some...
And no...
Nobody would...
Goodbye for now.
Excuse me, sir. Are you...
Sorry, I'm new to Whitechapel. But...
Dr. Reed? The Fête...
Why are the news...
There's a war going on.
It's a disgrace.
These are bad times.
What is a journalist?
He goes where none of his colleagues...
So you...
Whitechapel is the crucible of so many untold stories and tragedies. I want people to know them.
That's quite honorable of you. But is the public interested?
Not at all, sir. And that's why I'm an independent journalist, hoping to sell some stories.
Have you any idea of the danger you face in the...
I've had to run and hide more than once from...
I'm convinced there is more at work here than a simple epidemic.
Really? To be honest, I could say the same. Some of the sick I saw or heard of. My God, what happened to them?
I heard you're investigating an
Not much, I'm afraid. They are wary of strangers, and I'm not really an acquaintance of theirs. Why do you care?
I'm a doctor, Mr. Darby. I care about everything.
On va plus lui révéler, pardon, on va pas lui révéler qu'on a une infirmière qui travaille clandestinement.
I don't know much about the man. He's very cautious. Never goes out. Doesn't seem to have any friends or family.
He never...
No. A few days...
Really?
He went to the nearest mailbox, but...
He has no relative?
No.
Where can I find?
He spends most of his time lurking around.
Goodbye, Mr. Darby. Farewell.
Ah bah lui aussi il est fatigué.
Forgive my interruption.
Do not apologize, my son.
I am Dr. Jonathan Reed.
A scientist.
What do you...
Also,
Quite a judge.
well, you are...
I am. What do you mean?
Also,
Quite a
well,
judge.
you...
Well,
As a doctor,
what do you mean?
the beast is finally revealing.
Really?
We must fight the disease.
What is left?
Cleansing.
Ouais, lui il est un peu fumé je crois.
Tell me, Tobias. What exactly is your plan?
God will recognize his own.
Purification by fire has proved useful, but where...
Your lack of faith is predictable.
You're mad. And date
My son, if you...
Joseph, a fool.
Vicar Larrabee of St. Mary's Church.
What do you mean when you say that I am more lost than you thought?
All scientists are in touch.
Quite a judgmental
Well,
opinion.
you are seeking answers, aren't you?
Well,
As a doctor,
what do you mean?
the bee...
I have...
Ah oui. Il a trop fumé de toute façon. Ah, pourtant il est en bonne santé.
You pay for peace of mind.
Can't you just look the other way? We can sort it out, right?
Je vais juste aller préparer.
One way or another. Please, Joe. How long have we known each other?
Hello, young man. I'm Dr. Reed, and I would like...
Sorry, no, sir.
Your father is worried about...
So my father actually worried. Is there only pain and suffering in this world?
So,
I'm not bothered.
how do you feel?
I'm fine. I mean, it's not easy.
Speaking of which,
My father is an idiot who makes it...
forgive my bluntness, young man.
Why should I? I never wanted to...
This place is awful, I agree.
Ah, il est toujours resté
But does that
positif. Hein.
not mean your situation can only improve?
That's exactly what my father says. Harry, you should be grateful for what you've got.
If life here is so terrible for you, why don't you just leave this place? Have you ever spoken to your father about it?
I don't go outside. It terrifies me so.
So that's why you stay at home all day?
I'm not afraid of disease or death.
Your father and Mr.
I was young then.
Have you tried speaking to Mr. Lewis about it?
I don't go out often, but yes. And he scolded me and told me to leave him alone.
But you are not responsible for your father's actions.
Am I not? Dad always says that he joined that gang for my safety. So if I wasn't born...
Do you know...
Yes, I know.
Goodbye, young man.
Even my dreams are soaked with gloom.
Bah, c'est un jeune homme qui a l'air bien triste. J'espère qu'il m'en veut pas de dépouiller sa baraque.
Is there only pain?
Now it's hard to believe, but this district has always been regular.
Alors, voyons voir ça. Alors lui, il a de la fatigue. Harry Peterson, il a de la fatigue. Lui, c'est des migraines. Lui, c'est une bronchite. Donc 2 fatigues, 1 bronchite. Je pourrais lui faire et je pourrais déjà lui donner comme ça. Hop. Je ne vais pas dépenser mes points maintenant. Pour l'instant, je gère très bien. On est voir le môme qui habite là.
Good evening, Harry.
Sure. Is there only pain and suffering in this world?
Alors,
So,
I'm not bothered.
do you need it?
Yes, I do.
mon gars, ça va te faire du
You'll feel
bien.
better with it.
I'm not sure I'm happy with the idea.
Goodbye, young.
Even my dreams are soaked with gloom.
Et il y avait l'autre journaliste. Ah, voilà. Allez, reviens par ici, toi.
Good evening, Doctor. Can I help you?
Do you need assistance?
That would be nice of you, Doc.
If you persist,
Thank you, sir.
Goodbye, Mr. Darby. Farewell.
C'est pas mal, on a soigné pas mal de monde. Maintenant, il faut que je fasse le tour. Et on va faire le tour par là pour retrouver la boîte aux lettres et Richard. Allez, Riri, où es-tu? Salut toi.
Good evening, miss. I know what you're thinking. I know you understand what I'm saying.
On reviendra plus tard. De toute façon, elle est en bonne santé. C'est le principal.
The content of Darius' letter to his children could give me more courage to enter.
On a trouvé la lettre dans la poubelle, comme quoi c'est des bonnes habitudes que j'ai de fouiller dedans.
Hello again, miss. Melia, I know... a stubborn... Very well.
Eh ben on viendra plus tard. Oh, je vais pas faire le mec, mais je les éclate. Bon, peut-être pas lui. Ah, c'est pas possible. Bon, bah on reviendra plus tard pour lui aussi. Hein. Je peux pas passer par là.
It's locked, all right.
Parce que je peux pas passer par là. Tu me diras, un vampire qui va dans une église, ça fait mauvais genre. Faut que j'arrête de me coincer comme un enfant, moi. Lui, je peux pas encore me le faire. Bien envie, hein. C'est pas l'envie qui manque, hein. Ah! Salut gros! Vous allez me foutre la paix. Tas de cons. Santé sur votre gueule. Allez, tiens, bouffe. Hein. Allez, des coups de girofle. Richard, où es-tu? Ah, Richard.
Good evening, sir. I'm Dr. Reed. Please be my guest. Really? Are you an artist of some... I'm a poet, sir. May I? Not at all.
Bon, je passe un tout petit peu vite, hein.
If you... Thank you. What are you... Terrible, you say? No. What are you talking about? Do you remember London before? Yes. Most people Are you aware? But this is where I must be. I don't care. I don't... If some misfortune came upon... Well, you... May I ask you a few... Extraordinary part of town, is it? What can you tell me about... Darius Petrescu? Yes, I know. Not interested in your talent? Darius is an old political activist who takes... I'm looking for Dorothy... Dorothy Crane. Did you know the mute florist is a member of a... No, I didn't. Are you not? That girl has not an... I fear you are a... Guilty as Tell me, Mr. Nethercott. The place is not beautiful per se. Do you not think it's a little morbid? On the contrary, sir. Whitechapel is full... What can you tell me about Camellia? Not much. Perhaps you're just afraid to find out the truth about your muse. What? And have you ever... Maybe I prefer she remains an enigma. Reality can be so... Do you need medical... It may be wise to let...
J'ai pas vu, il a quoi lui? Il a un rhume. Évidemment, le seul truc que j'ai pas sur moi.
I will see you. I'll leave you.
Darius is a bit less of a mystery now. It should not be that difficult to incite him to let me in.
Bon, allez. Pour la prochaine vidéo, on va s'occuper d'aller visiter notre cher ami Darius. Donc sur ce, si vous avez aimé, laissez un petit like, ça fait toujours plaisir. Abonnez-vous, éclatez le bouton like, ça me ferait plaisir. Allez, à plus hein.